Hello. Hi. You guys see these graphs? You'll see this at the end of the video as well. But I just want to let you guys know that it's important that you watch this video if you're interested in the future of Evolved. But I mainly want to use this little bit of time to say that we are open for discussion. Okay, if you have any suggestions, if you have any feedback, or just anything to say about this subject at all, make sure to let us know in the Discord. You can let us know in the hashtag discussions channel, and let's start a discussion about this because it's important that we, keep talking as a community, right? So now on to the rest of the video. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. So my name is Skills. I'm the owner of Evolved PvE Rust server. I'm online on the Rust server right now. As you can see, there's 4 people online right now in this moment. Two of them which are staff, myself and Mareki7. I'm here to let you all know about something. So, wait, hold up. This is stoned for some reason. Why? Anyways, just let's fuck that. Let's get to the topic at hand. So, a while ago, I think it's been like a little over a couple months ago, I started a poll asking players whether they would like to see a bi-weekly wipe cycle or a monthly wipe cycle. Now, most people voted for a monthly wipe cycle. I think it was only 2 people that voted for bi-weekly, and like 12 or so people voted for monthly. So effectively, pretty much deciding that we would stay on a monthly wipe cycle. However, I will be changing that. We will be switching to a bi-weekly wipe cycle. Why are we switching to a bi-weekly wipe cycle? Very simply put, the server dies after 2 weeks, right? So now there's 4 people online, 2 of which are staff. I'm very rarely online. Traffic-wise, we have noticed this, right? So regarding traffic, the first 2 weeks are banging. Okay, so fresh wipe, people come online, there's like 10 plus people online, people are having fun, and it slowly decays after that day, right? So it goes down in a spiral until the point that there's barely anyone online. For instance, in the last 2 days, I've seen moments when there's 2 people online, and then I've also seen like multiple hours, up to 10 hours, that there's only 1 person online, or even nobody online, right? Indirectly, that is hurting the server as well, as it's not fun for players. In what sense is it not for fun for players, you may ask? It's because when they're alone on the server, when you join a server, let's say, right, irrelevant whether it's this server or a different, right? If you join a server and there's never somebody online, never someone online you can do content with, or never someone online you can communicate with, you get bored. So you're very prone to leave the server a lot quicker than when there's players online where you can communicate with and do content with. So, and that is hurting the server indirectly as much as it's hurting the players, right? So it's hurting the server because there's no traffic, which by default means that, the server is not making any revenue. I mean, yeah, this might sound really weird to you to hear like I'm talking about revenue, but fact of the matter is, to keep the server online, we require revenue, right? And we're not the types of people to advertise for people to buy something of our store, because I generally just don't like doing that. But we do have to face it. Revenue is required to keep the server up. It's just that simple. All right. So because I ain't paying the server out of my own pockets. Well, at least not always. So either way, I believe that going to a bi-weekly wipe cycle is going to be a win-win situation for both the server and the players. Why, you may ask? It's because when we are on bi-weekly, it is proven and it's facts. I will show you the data in just a little bit. Near the end of the video, I'll show you the data that the first 2 weeks of wipe are banging. People are online, people are playing, people are having fun. There's lots of hours that are being logged on the server as a collective versus the last 2 weeks of the wipe where it's just not happening. You know, the server is dead. There's very little players online. Occasionally there is a player online, I should say, and very sometimes, like today, there's 4 people online, but that's very, very rare in the second, half of the wipe. Now, you might also think, like, how is bi-weekly gonna solve this? Well, I believe there's a lot of people that search serverless, myself included. I used to be one of those people before I started Evolved, right? That when I search for a new server, players per definition search for fresh wiped servers, right? So after the first 2 weeks, if we were to wipe the server, there is a bigger chance that people are going to find the server and then start playing on the server. So when it's on a bi-weekly wipe schedule, we will most likely get new players more than we do right now, which in return, new players equals more regular players, right? They could turn into regular players. That is only if they actually like the server and not leave because they don't like a certain feature or whatever, right? So if they stick around, they could turn into regular players, and if they turn into regular players, that means that maybe the server will grow in both wipe cycles, right? And there will be more people online. By the way, keep in mind, this bi-weekly wipe cycle is going to be experimental, which means that we're going to keep it up for a while, and if it works, we're going to remain doing that. But if it doesn't work, then we might switch back to monthly. It depends on data that I collect, because I will be collecting and monitoring like backend statistics and see if this is actually making a difference or whether it's not making a difference, right? Because if it doesn't make a difference, then there's no point in having bi-weekly wipe cycles. But if it does make a difference, then it will have all the points to be a bi-weekly wipe cycle. But for now, I believe this is going to be a win-win. Win-win as the server will gain more traffic and players on the server will have more fun with new players or maybe their current existing friends. And maybe you even get to know new people, form new friendships where you could eventually play other games with, or maybe another server, that's possible too. So this is, in that sense, a win-win in my opinion, right? Because the way it is right now, it's just, it's difficult. So let me show you some data for a little bit. Hello. So I'm here to showcase you guys the statistics and the data that I talked about in the video real quick, right? So this is the monthly data for last month on new players and unique players. Well, unique players being the players that, are also regular players. So they're not necessarily new players. This is new players, you can see. And, the population across the entire month. So this is the start of the month. This is still the end of the last month. But this is the start of the month. So on the 7th of April was wipe. You can see 21 players joined, which includes regular players. So these are not new players, right? And then 6 new players joined. On day after wipe, 7 new players joined, and we had 24 unique players, which are just, regular returning players. Then a day later, we didn't have any new players. We had 19 players, right? 2 new players, 17 unique. No new players, 12. But you can see that in the start of the first week of wipe, the stats are really banging. They're really good, right? And then the further on we get into the wipe, it becomes less and less. Especially the new player ones, it just becomes less. Except for these two. I mean, that's just very unique and sporadic that happens. It doesn't happen often, right? It's unique, like rare, I guess, if you will. And then we have also, you might think like, oh, but that's still a lot of players. That's still a lot of regular and returning players. I mean, yes, but hour-wise, it is not, right? Because the hours matter. If you see the population, a lot of players, a lot of hours are being put in the first, week of wipe versus, the last half of the wipe, I guess, if you will. You can see it is clearly less amount of hours spent on the server. A lot of hours spent on the server, including high player numbers, versus less hours spent on the server, including lower player numbers. The best way to show this is on Battlemetrics. Let's do this real quick, because I don't want to make this video too long. If I go to EvolvePB, which is our server, you can see it very well in here. You can see there's a big chunk of player hours, so like 78 hours played across all players, by the way, on the server that day. And then 64, 78, 58, 46, 49, and then it just goes down. And it's quite stable still, but it's, down from what it can be, Same with unique and first-time players. Again, big chunk here, and goes down in a spiral. And then, you can see here as well, there's just very less, there is one player online in most of the situations, yeah. So, it's a little bit of statistics and a little bit of data. It might not mean much to you, but it means a lot to me and to the server healthy-wise, right? It's very important to keep the server healthy. And I believe that making it a bi-weekly schedule makes it really healthy. And by all means, please start a discussion with us, and please give your insights on this and give your opinion on it, because it is going to happen. We will switch to bi-weekly. But I have to clarify again, it is an experimental change, meaning that this is not set in stone whether we're going to keep this forever. We might switch it back to monthly if data shows that it made no difference. But I really believe this is going to make a difference. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Peace out.